Hello friend, welcome back to my channel. Today I will show how containerize your application the right way without problem in Kubernetes. In the end of this video, you have a documentation with all the requirements to deploy it on Kubernetes. All the files will be at the link in the description. So let's start. The first thing, you need to clone my GitHub project. So after that, cd YouTube, and let's open the VS Code. Let's go to the board. In the board, I have the 5 requirements to deploy our application in the right ways in Kubernetes. So first one, keep configurate separate from the code. Let's go to the VS Code. In my project, I have an application in Node.js, and to do that, you need to create an env file. And let me put my environment for the application. Okay, number 1 is done. Let's see in the code. All the instance configuration for this application will be in my env file, and we'll go to using in the epic.js, and we can see in the line 29, you have process env.health. That's coming for the env file. If you want to change, you can change anytime you want. That's the variable is now attached to the code. Let's go back to the board. So number 2, essential endpoints. You need to have 4 endpoints separate with different actions. The first one, you can use the /app for the application. The second one, you go to use it live. So let's go back to the code. We have the live endpoint in here, and this endpoint just go to say if the application is okay. So you go to send okay. Let's back to the board and go to the number 3. In the health, you need to check if the application is ready to receive requests. So let's go back to the code. So in the code, you have the health endpoint, and the health need to check if you have some database connectivity. You need to check to see if they have some APIs you use in the applications is available, or if you have disk memory or some resource you need to run this application. So you need to check if the application is ready in this endpoint. So let's go back to the board. And the last one is the metrics, and the metrics you're using for Prometheus. So you can send all these metrics for Prometheus, and you can check some alerts, create some nice dashboards in Grafana. You go to use this application in the next video, and I will show how you deploy that in Kubernetes and show how you can monitor this. Number 3, manage the logs. Direct the logs to the standard outputs and the error extremes. Don't save the logs in a file, because you can find this in the Kubernetes. So let's go to the code. I have a log for all my requests go to generate the password, and that's go to show in the console when you use kubectl logs and put in the name pod. You can see there's logs inside, so you can see some requests. And if you have any errors, just send the logs there too, so you can check this. Okay, let's go to number 4. Insurance you have graceful shutdown. So let's go back to the code. In the end of the code, I have the graceful shutdown, and that's you give it coming for the number coming for the graceful. I put it like 5 seconds, but you can change in here. But just for this application, put it 10 seconds. So you need to have this graceful shutdown, because when the Kubernetes starts to delete or remove or receive a new release, they wait for 5 seconds to shut down the container. So you need to wait 5 seconds for kill the pod. So all the requests you have in this time, they wait for finish. So after that, they can shut down the application. So let me run this application. So you just need to type in npm install. Let's go to install all the dependency for this application. When this ready, I will back. Okay, the installation is done. Let's start the application. npm start. So let's go back to the browser, refresh. Our application generating passwords for us. And you click in here and generate passwords. You can change the numbers for the characters in here. So you can put a 15, generation. So they generate this random passwords security for us. So the live is okay, send a message okay. The health, they send a message you ready for receive request. The metrics show the Prometheus, show all the metrics you export for the application, and they're pretty like some latency for the endpoint. And you have these ones is now work for now. In the body, you have number 5 is about security. So let's go back to VS Code. Let's go to the Docker file. In the Docker file, we don't use it to run our application the root. Never use the root user in prod. So that can be a big mistake. And if somebody accesses your pod, they can break down all your application and have access for everything in your cluster. I'll go stop the application. And they wait for 5 seconds. Okay, let's create the imaging for our application. So let's run our application with the Docker run, with the port. And now I go to change the live for Vivo, and you don't go to use the live anymore. You start using Vivo. So you can go to you can use this command to run. So they start the application. Let's go back to the browser. And you try health, the health is working fine. But when you go to live, they stop find, because now you start using Vivo. And Vivo is, say in Portuguese, is alive. So if you want to change like the endpoints, you can change that in the env file, because your configuration is outside. That's how you containerize your application in the right way. So in the next video, you go to deploy this application in Kubernetes, and I will show why you need that requirement. I have a document about Docker commands. The link to download will be in the description. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.